What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Nerd Rage Top 5. And today, this was Chris Pinkerton, If You're Nasty's choice.
And if you don't like it,
there's tissues for you.
They're right here for you.
The topic today is top 5 Disney villains. It's inferred that this is like animated movies and such, or some of their shorts, but not like Thanos or Darth Vader now. You know what I mean? I have Joe with us today as well. And together we make up Nerd Rage Radio, a weekly podcast that you can find wherever podcasts are found for free. But this is also for free, but there'll be an uncut of this available on Patreon, not for free. And with that, I think we can go ahead and get started. Chris, you chose the topic. Why don't you take the reins?
My number 5 is Prince John from Robin Hood.
Nice. A beautiful choice.
It's the thumb-sucking. He's not a good bad guy, but he's a great villain.
He's tremendous, man. Like, PJ. Dude, so good. He's so funny, man. I'll take my number 5 as well, then. My number 5 is Shere Khan from Jungle Book.
Jungle Book, okay.
I like, what I think is cool about that character is he's so like kind of smooth and, you know, debonair, but then like when you get to finally see him just become this like rageful thing, it is like a night and day. And I think what's cool about that is this character that kind of keeps all that behind this very gentlemanly exterior,
right?
You know, and it's
like a real gangster.
Yeah. You know, like he kind of embodies that. Like even when he's like sitting there and he's like just brings his claws out and he's like just tapping them around, like just to remind you like what he's capable of. It's like, I mean, it's obviously it's a cartoon and it's fun and blah blah blah, but that sort of representation of a villain I find terrifying. The one that's like on his that's not like outwardly evil. What do you got, Joe? Number 5.
So I only know like 5 Disney villains off the top of my head, so this is an easy list. So number 5 is the Huns. They're just some goons, man.
Yeah,
they're just some goons attacking China.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
You know.
Fast forward to today.
Number 4. Chris.
Number 4 for me is Cruella de Vil.
Oh yeah,
from the 101 Dalmatians, specifically the animated. I know it's been remade several times, but I think as a child I was quite frightened of that situation. And if you think about it now as an adult out of context, this was trying to steal 101 dogs to make a coat.
I mean, it is evil and crazy. It's crazy.
And would you say it's also cruel
and devilish?
Here's something else. 101, right?
Yeah.
Dogs don't look like that after they give birth.
Yeah, she was looking pretty good, right? She was looking like a pretty sleek pup.
She was.
101 of anything is a lot.
I know.
To shove into.
Getting away from the dog parts.
There's a lady who was like, she's openly wanting to kill dogs.
And there's these people who are
puppies.
who are working for her.
Puppies.
That are like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this today. I mean, what'd y'all do last week? I mean, how'd you get the coach she's got on?
You know, and there is like, I'll tell you what, in the Disney universe, being a villain, man, good help is hard to find. It's like as soon as they put the ad in the circular, they just get the doofiest to apply for that job. Always the henchmen are like the dumbest out there. So my number 4 is not from a Disney movie, but from a Disney animated short, and it's The Big Bad Wolf. So like, I think part of it is like he had a crazy voice for one, like you know, but I can't do it. But and then
sounds like a bobcat.
Yeah, but it's not too far off from that. And he had 3 wolf pups that were also like his boys, like his sons.
Oh, okay, I remember this now.
And then he wore like a beat up top hat and a jumper, like an orange jumper with one suspender attached, and the other one was like broken and tattered. And I just got the impression that this wolf really wanted to eat those pigs, because he was bloody starving, and like these pigs were like living in like the land of milk and honey, like they're all like hanging out. The third pig ended up creating like a contraption that was like super complicated to like tar and feather the big bad wolf. Like these pigs were like super sophisticated. And it seemed like the big bad wolf just wanted his little piece of the pie. You know what I mean?
That sounds like the pigs are the villains in this story.
Yeah. But I like a lot of those old school Disney animated designs that almost like resemble Looney Tunes and stuff more than like kind of the modern Disney. What about you, Joe?
Hades from Hercules.
Yeah, dude.
Great. I mean, it's great.
Yeah,
visual
classic
design and like animated. The actions are great.
They did a good job.
Personality's great. Yeah.
Cool design with like the hair fire and everything.
Turns, act like red and
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Number 3, and this one I figured would be a kind of a layup. It's Scar from The Lion King.
Yeah. I like
Jeremy Irons, also another great voice.
He's classic. Yeah. You know, long live the king.
Be prepared.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I like the hyenas too, but once again, bad hired help.
Exactly.
My number 3 is the weasels.
The weasels?
From what?
So they were originally in The Adventures of Mr. Toad, which is based on the Wind in the Willows story. Mr. Winky's like hired goons are the weasels that are kind of like just like old school, like 40s, like like type of characters. They smoke cigarettes in it. Like they have like you know, like those hats that like fold over. They're like Kangos, but they're not. They're like this old like New York style.
Yeah,
hats.
like a cabbie cap.
Yeah, and then they eventually are the same characters that the weasels from Roger Rabbit are kind of from. Like they're all connected. Like those are the same weasels, you know, just like a updated modern form of them. But I always thought they were cool. I thought once again, the design was cool. They seemed dangerous, like within universe, like,
yes.
you know, but they carried knives and guns, you know what I mean? Like it was like gangsters, you know? Number 3.
Number 3 is also Scar for me.
Yeah.
Great portrayal, great villain. One of those that succeeds. And you know, he fails at the end, but he like got what he wanted.
Yeah.
But like he wasn't great at it.
Yeah.
He didn't do a good job. Like he got what he wanted. He got the kingdom, and then everything fell to
Yeah, it's like this is the reason why you weren't chosen.
Yes,
because you're not good at this. You're not good at ruling. And there's like that movie's pretty good, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's based on Hamlet and everything else. So it's like supposed to be good, but like even the idea of being in charge of land and having to manage resources, you know what I mean, and not just binge on those resources, or otherwise you just you know, exhaust them all, is like a pretty interesting.
And just visually, a villain lion was like not masculine or like jacked and prowess,
but had to use his
smart.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty cool.
Number 2 for me is the Prospector from Toy Story 2.
Oh,
Stinky Pete.
Oh,
That's what they call it.
One of the toys. Yeah.
And
I forgot that's Disney.
I've had a case of that once.
Yeah. You know, and the great thing that he's the hidden villain, right? It parallels, you know, the tragedy of Jessie's life, whereas she, you know, got left heartbroken, left under a bed and given away, whereas the Prospector stayed sealed in box all these years. So I think a lot of it just speaks to me as a collector, you know, and the fact that he was willing to go to all these lengths and ruin all these other toys' lives just so he can finally get out, you know, and have not be stuck in a storage unit, but man,
my number 2 is Prince John. Once again, for most of the reasons already cited, but like he's obviously mean. You know, he's like a mean creature, and he doesn't give a shit about anything but himself.
Yeah,
he's also like just so funny, you know, and like not purposefully funny.
Yeah,
like he's like, that's the beauty of that character, is like you hate him, like especially when he's like taxing, you know, the little mice that are living in the church and everything like that, you know, like you hate him, but you can't help but laugh at him just because he's so bloody funny, you know. And
it's got a charm to him.
Yeah. Number 2
is Jafar, and another one who succeeded before he failed. I like that he's capable, he's powerful. The Sultan was an idiot. He's kind of not wrong. I mean,
right.
He also kind of, everything went to shit, so he took over, I think, because he just did whatever he wanted. And he's got a bird.
He does have a bird.
Whoa, an accessory for the action figure.
Iago, who has also a great personality.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Buddy / Syndrome from The Incredibles.
I keep putting those things at Disney, but
it's such a great setup because you get the whole story. You get I want to be your sidekick. Go home, buddy. I work alone. And then the story progresses, and years later, here's your villain. And it's so good the way he tells it. And Jason Lee does the voice, and he just nails it, man. It's such a great villain.
It's such tragic too, because he could have. I mean, he had the ability and the intelligence. He could have been a good guy,
but he, you know, the path that he was given, being told that he, you know, couldn't work with the superheroes, he made himself a superhero.
My number 1 is a controversial choice, and I understand it. It does have a sketchy history and past. That being said, I'm not going to get into it here. I've gotten into it on Nerd Rage 100 times. There are plenty of YouTube videos about it and so forth that really get into the authentic, real history of these stories. And I don't like this movie. Let me be clear about that. I don't like this movie. But this movie has 3 animated shorts in it. And those animated shorts have 2 of my favorite Disney villains in it, which is Brer Fox and Brer Bear. I love the dynamic between the 2. One is like smart and clever, but overly ambitious, which gets him into failure. And then the other one is big and powerful, but stupid. And they're not like they're uneasy. It's an uneasy alliance. It's not like they're pals. Yeah. They're just like using each other's expertise for one goal, which is to eat a rabbit. And they fail every time. And there's a lot of racial controversy that kind of surrounds those characters, and I totally understand that and I'm sympathetic towards it. However, like if you know the history of those characters, those 2 specifically, they're actually, you know, kind of a metaphor for, you know, ineffective, dumb, or unintelligent, or uneducated, maybe is a better word, white people of their time. And Brer Rabbit is actually a metaphor for a more clever African American of his time.
Right.
But I don't want to get lost in all the nuance of all that. It's just more complicated than sometimes people, you know, make it out to be. But they are, once again, so funny at failing, and they remind me more of Looney Tunes than they do of classic.
It's Wile E. Coyote, right?
Of classic Disney characters, which I gravitate more towards.
Well, the time that came out, it made sense because that's what was popular.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm willing to discuss that movie with anybody privately, but I do understand the controversy surrounding it. Joe, number 1.
Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. He is a human character. He's not particularly like magical or anything like that, but he's relatable as like people you know in real life are like that. They're not considered villains usually, just like how in the story in his town, like he's a big shot. He's a good guy. In the grand scheme of things, he becomes a villain, but like is he really though? Kind of. He's a jerk, yeah, but he's going to kill a monster supposedly.
Yeah.
So I find him the most. He is a human and the most humanized villain.
Yeah, like if you remove the sort of narcissism from him, like he's not totally a bad bloke.
He's any dude you find on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah, right? He's like, it's just kind of an average dude.
They're always decorating his antlers.
So yeah, please leave yours in the description below. We'd love to know what your top 5 are, even though we probably won't agree and you'll probably be upset with ours. Chris, tell them where they can find you.
Crashbox Customs all across the fruited plain. It's right here on the side of this Kleenex box. You see, it's right here. Nice and cropped out. Good job, Bobby. Great work.
Stop moving the box.
Great work.
And Joe?
Right now, only on Steam on Armored Core 6. Cybers 54. I'm there everywhere.
There you go. And with that,
flappy lips.
Tasty toenails.
Tight traps, player.